Hey guys, my name is Jaron Deddy. Today we're going to do a review on the Elite Ritual. There's a lot of hype about this bow. A lot of guys are really wanting to get their hands on it. I've had the opportunity to shoot the bow at the ATA show and at our archery shop here in Ohio. The Elite Ritual was 33 1/4 inch axle to axle, 6 3/4 inch brace height. It boasts a 335 IBO speed. It's offered between 26.5 inch draw to 31 inch draw, and from 40 pounds all the way up to 80 pounds. Unlike other bows, especially some of the bows from Elite in the past, this bow shoots really well backed out. Some things with like the options, when you would take the limbs out, like a 70-pound bow and you back 2 turns out of it, you would lose the high let off that most people like about the Elite. The Elite Ritual does not do that. We picked up the Elite Ritual up out of the shop this morning, grabbed an Elite QAD, put it on it, set it in within spec. First thing I did is just checked on the draw board to get the peak weight, make sure everything looked like it was in time. The bow was just over 71 pounds and it was holding about 10 pounds. So I mean, it's right in that upper 80 to low 90% let off, which is about perfect. So we just went ahead, threw the QAD on it, went back, ran a couple arrows through the chronograph just to kind of get a baseline. We shot 2 different arrows through this test. Both are Zombie Slayers from Black Eagle. One's a 400 spine, one's a 350 spine. The one arrow was weighing 353 grains while the other was 367. So the 353 grain arrow, we got very good speeds around 315, a little over 315 feet per second. The 367 grain arrow ran through the chronograph at about 308. I believe we can get a little bit more out of it with tuning and just kind of playing with some things, but we just want to do a general, like get the bow up, run it through the chronograph, and more or less give you more feedback on how it feels versus the speed. And everybody's looking and saying, okay, well, it's a split limb. What's different between the option? The first thing you notice when you look at the bow, there's no string suppression system in it. There's no limb suppression system on it. There's nothing to deaden vibration other than the string stop. If you get on the homepage of Elite and you look at the Ritual, you see a big number, 88% efficient. We're not going to get in depth about that. But what we are going to talk about is what that means to the shooter. An efficient bow is a bow that has no vibration. I mean, the more efficient it is, the less vibration and feedback you're going to get in your hand. This bow wastes very little energy, and you can tell that by shooting it. You don't have the vibration, you don't have the hand shock, you don't have that feedback from the bow. What I really like about this bow is just how easy it is to shoot and how smooth. I mean, like I say, it's a 3 1/4 inch brace height, which is a very generous brace height, getting the speed, but the draw cycle. The draw cycle is absolutely superb in this bow. It's nice, smooth and fluid. There's no real hump you have to break over, and then it just settles into the back wall of high let off, which all of that translates back to how efficient it is. They're using a softer cam and getting more performance out of it while adding some brace height. So you're pretty much getting the best of everything with this bow. At 33 1/4 inch axle to axle, it's definitely compact enough to hunt ground blinds, tree stands, just being mobile, but it still gives you a good string angle to get the right fit. When you start dropping into your super short bows, you start getting into string angle issues for guys with longer draw. And same way, if it's a super long bow, it's just cumbersome in the stand. The Ritual really fits the bill for me, and I really am a big fan of that 32 to 35 inch axle bow, so this 33 1/4 is spot on. A couple of the other things that I noticed as soon as I pick up the bow is the grip. It's nice, rounded, smooth corners. There's nothing sharp that's going to be uncomfortable in your hand. It sits in the heel of your hand solidly to the point where it almost feels like it's impossible to torque the bow, which to me is a big benefit to gather in all hunters and all shooters. Is a bow that's easy to shoot, you shoot well, you like to shoot it. As smooth as it is, you can shoot the bow all day. I actually am going up in weight. I've dropped down to where I've been shooting 60 and 65 pound bows the past couple of years. I'm going back up to 70 where I can shoot one around 73-ish, 74 pounds because the Ritual just has that silky smooth draw. I'm pretty confident if you're comfortable shooting, say, an option 6 or 7 or one of the impulses, and you're shooting at 60 and 65 pounds, I'm pretty confident you can go into your bow shop, pick up the 70-pound bow, shoot it, and it's going to feel easier than your 60 or 65 that you've been shooting. As far as options on this bow, the draw length is 26.5 to 31. Your weights are going to be 40 to 80 pounds. You also have 10 solid collars, and it's available in 3 different brands of camo. You have your Mossy Oak, which you have 2 patterns from Mossy Oak. You have 2 patterns from Kuiu, and you have your 3 patterns from Realtree. So vast selection of colors. Then you have 10 solid colors as well. A few of the things I really like about the bow is the grip. Super smooth edges, sits in your hand, and it promotes good form and no torque. The draw cycle is just absolutely insane. It's hard to put it into words of how great it is. It's smooth, there's no hump, it lets you off the hook early, and then you have a good solid back wall with high let off. All the bows have steadily climbed in excess of the $1,000 mark. All of the competition for this bow is in excess of $1,000. MSRP on this bow is $9.99. We're going to see MAP pricing in most shops. You're going to see them sell them at $9.49 for the base color bows. If you want a quick, smooth shooting bow that just fits the bill from 3D archery to hunting, check out the Elite Ritual.